And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video, as always, going to be going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. That of course includes our headline today. Rangers set for SPFL Showdown talks. Whilst also we're going over, as I stated, all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. Of course, Rangers fans probably still happy. Well, majority of you still happy, of course. Obviously, continuing our winning streak yesterday as we beat Ross County at Ibrox. Some fans and the fan base still a little disgruntled that we didn't go to the top of the table. But as I said, guys, keep the faith. We're going to be at the top of the table in absolutely no time. I have no doubt about that. We just need to focus on each game as they come by. And yeah, just keep playing our football, and as stated, don't worry what's going on over there at this moment in time. That's all going to fall apart and fall into place for us. As stated, you know, they're running away with that victory against St Mirren in the Scottish Cup. However, I think, you know, it's not the end of the road for them. They will drop a few more points between now and, of course, the next time we play them. So I do believe we'll go into that derby top of the table. But as stated, we need to continue winning our own games and focusing on our own garden. Now, of course, whilst we played our game in hand, guys, we played our game in hand against Ross County, of course, got the job done. Everyone else not really playing much football. Of course, Aberdeen and Motherwell did play. However, the other games that have been ongoing have, of course, been the Champions League, and of course now the Europa League is creeping upon us this evening, and maybe by the time you're watching this video, some of the games may have kicked off. But as stated, guys, we got that reward, that luxury of topping our group, that we were into the Europa League last 16. But I just want to take a little look at some of the teams that are involved, obviously tonight. Feyenoord taking on Roma, Galatasaray taking on Sparta Prague, Shakhtar Donetsk taking on Marseille, Young Boys or eBay taking on Sporting Lisbon, AC Milan taking on Rennes, Benfica taking on Toulouse, Braga taking on Qarabag, Lens taking on Freiburg. Now, whilst these victories are important, is because, well, the winners of these tie will be our potential opposition. So yeah, I'll probably keep you up to date with regards to what happens in some of these games in tomorrow's video, and keep you up to date as the time goes on at who we could play. But certainly looking at all of these teams, funnily enough, I look at the teams that we could play in the last 16. I don't really fear any of them, bar potentially Benfica, AC Milan, Sporting Lisbon, and that would be it. Genuinely, that would be it. I'm looking at Freiburg, looking at Lens. I do think we can get the job done against them. Qarabag, Braga, we've been there, done that, but those two. Toulouse, I feel like we could beat. Rennes, I feel like we could beat. Sporting Lisbon. eBay, I think we could beat. Well, sorry, not Sporting Lisbon. They're doing well this season, sorry. eBay, I do think we could beat. Marseille, Shakhtar Donetsk, again, other sides I think we could beat. Sparta Prague, we've already shown that we can beat. Galatasaray, again, another side I think we can beat. Feyenoord, I think we can beat. Roma, again, at this moment in time, I do believe we can beat them too. So, yeah, one eye currently on these ties at this moment in time, just keeping an eye on them. Any favourable ties out of this one so far, I'm looking at probably Qarabag. But yeah, I do feel like we could go far and make a bit of a dent in this Europa League competition. But we'll take it as it comes, but I'll keep you up to date what happens in those matches for sure. Now, in the main news of today's video, guys, yes, Rangers look set for SPFL Showdown talks. We came to you recently that Rangers and 5 other SPFL clubs had wrote to the SFA, and following this now, basically, the 6 sides have proposed a meeting between all SPFL member clubs and its chairman and chief executive. Yes, Murdoch McLennan and Neil Doncaster have been urged to attend the meeting later this month by Aberdeen, Livingston, Motherwell, Rangers, St Mirren and St Johnstone. The 6 top flight clubs have issued a fresh statement following the release of their initial concerns last week about the SPFL's independence and transparency of the recent corporate governance report into the league's governing body. The new letter reads, following the club's letter to the SPFL chairman and chief executive, a response was received from the chairman on February 9th. On consideration of the chairman's letter of reply, the clubs believe it to be imperative in the best interest of transparency and governance that the chairman and chief executive meet with their shareholders. To end that, the clubs have invited the chairman and chief executive to attend a meeting of all member clubs to address the issues around the independent governance review. All SPFL member clubs are invited to attend and participate in this meeting, which will take place at 11 AM on February 27th. Last week's joint statement, of course, I'm not going to go over the letter itself, but, you know, it read, but we just kind of gave in a bit of a snarky reply from the SFA. But yeah, it's good to see, of course, the clubs are standing up to it and getting the answers that they are due and are allowed to demand from them. Because I do feel like we've been ran by a bunch of clowns for the last few years as a division. So it is quite good, and as stated, hopefully there will be more further update with regards to it, but Rangers certainly set for more SPFL Showdown talks. So yeah, very interesting to see there. In other news, guys, of course, there has been a bit with regards to Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Yes, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst has been making the headlines, if you will. Of course, a couple of weeks back, it did seem as though he was going to be getting the job potentially at Besiktas, and basically has explained his decision to snub an offer from Besiktas after leaving Rangers. Yes, Van Bronckhorst has revealed it was not down to being unable to bring in his desired assistant manager, but instead more to do with the feeling he had about Besiktas having done his due diligence. He said, "It's true, I had offers from a few clubs, and one of them became public," he admitted. "But there was no one team that made me feel like I wanted to start again. I kept reading that the reason I didn't want to go in was because I could not get an assistant manager I wanted, but several coaches wanted to join me. When a club is interested in you, you have to delve into everything, the state of the club, their position, and the players, of course. And ultimately, you arrive at the total picture of a club where you get the feeling that you want to get involved in or not. The latter was the case with me." So yeah, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst coming out and speaking about his managerial offer from Besiktas, and do wish Gio very much the best of luck. I think he was shafted at Rangers, to be perfectly honest with you, in terms of the backing that he didn't get following the Europa League final. And having said that, if we had won the Europa League, he would have never been sacked, no matter what happened the following season. So, you know, potentially a victim of his own sort of success, if you like, with the Europa League. But yeah, definitely shafted by our board at that time. However, everything happens for a reason. I hope he gets back into management at some point. And as stated, we've kind of moved on since then, had a failed manager in Michael Bill. But as stated, it does look like the Philippe Clement regime is definitely doing things for the good. But Rangers fans, do let me know your thoughts currently on the Europa League matches. Who's that opposition out of the to the sides that are playing in the last 16 playoff would you like to see us come up against? Let me know your thoughts of this, the showdown talks, and yeah, just let me know your thoughts with regards to Rangers in general. Are you enjoying supporting the club at this moment in time? Have your views changed since the start of the campaign? Are you happy? Yeah, as stated, let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Poosh.